Hello there, everybody, and welcome here to race number 9 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series. We have one more stop after this, which will be, of course, at Auto Club, before we end up having the Season 9 Mobil1 Cup Series All-Star Race Weekend. Can't wait for that to happen, but we got to find out what's going to happen here tonight at Richmond International Raceway under the lights here, or actually we're not under the lights, this is daytime racing, my apologies. But anyway, we're getting ready for 21 laps of racing here today, just coming off the heels of our first repeat winner this season, Chris Washer, picking up his second win of the season last week at Dover. So we'll see what happens here in today's race at Richmond. Richmond native, his home track. Anthony McCurry starts on the pole position here today alongside of Oreo Pollard, rookie in the number 99. Both these drivers looking for good runs here today, but let's go down and get the commands first.
Drivers, start your engines!
As there's the command to fire the engine. Steve Pollard comes in 28th in points. Anthony McCurry 35th in the standings. As you'll take a look at the rest of your starting lineup for today's race, Cody Lamas and Jessica Shelton and Trent Dunham will complete the top 5 here for the starting lineup. As you look all the way down through to the last place, which is going to be Austin LaPlante. And LaPlante, it's kind of been for him, it's kind of been an up and down couple of weeks. He finished very poorly back at Talladega, but then he had a somewhat decent finish at Las Vegas because he won. And then the following week at Dover, things really went south for him again as he ended up finishing off the lead lap. So we'll see what side of the spectrum the 60 will be on today, as he dropped several spots in the standings. Austin Mongold comes in as the points leader over Sean Galligan, Kyle Corbett, LaPlante, and Gene Sanford. And we are underway here today at Richmond. Cody Lamas going to try and drive it in hard there for the lead. Ooh, slides up off the corner into Anthony McCurry. Close call. Oh, Dylan Thoreau gets turned around there right in the middle of the field. But they're 3 wide for the lead as Trent Dunham puts it way down to the inside here coming out of 3. And he's going to take the lead, and he will be the leader under our first caution. Dylan Thoreau got turned around. He started this race, I think it was up inside the top 10. And it got turned by somebody. I couldn't tell who it was, and it was right in front of everybody else to see if anybody got involved, or was it just him? Oh, looks like the 22 of Chris Maley. Former winner this season, 17th in points, is involved. David Rivera's on pit road, along with Dylan Poteet, Joshua Collard, Bob Jones. So this was much worse wreck than we had anticipated, apparently. James McLeod in trouble. TJ Dent coming to pit road. James Qualls on pit lane. He and Dylan Thoreau both started this race inside the top 10, and oh man, there's a smoke screen on the back. Ty Dent's got damaged, Matthew Dalio, Daniel Gilbert, looks like Charles Jackson, see if we can get a better camera angle here. Chris Louviere also involved. Had a great finish last week at Dover. Charles Jackson, 19th in points. Brings his Monster Energy Toyota to pit road. There you see Momo Akari is on the pit lane. In the 42, now leaving. We're going to see if anybody else was involved. There's some left side damage to Clay Rogers, 18. It's a miracle that he actually was not very much involved in this wreck, because he has been involved in so many wrecks in the past couple of weeks. But Trent Dunham's going to lead us under our first yellow here at Richmond. Let's take a look and see what happened. It all started with the 2 of Dylan Thoreau. Now we'll try and get a clear enough angle to see what happened. They were 3 wide there with Steve Pollard, Jessica Shelton, and Dylan Thoreau. And I think Shelton may have slid up into Pollard. It got her loose, and then she shoots down the racetrack in front of Dylan Thoreau. And I believe she takes James Qualls down to the inside retaining wall as well. Oh, there's a shot for Sean Henley. And there's another shot. That was the points leader, Austin Mongold, that actually had that shot. Oh, James Sowerfox involved. There's the shot for Momo Akari. And then I think things are just going to stack up here. You're going to see right here, up and into the driver's side door for Clay Rogers. That's where he gets involved. Nice avoidance by a couple of drivers inside of the top 5 in points. Gene Sanford and Sean Galligan. There's another car back there flipping upside down. That might be James Qualls. It is. He, I think, got hit by Chris Maley. So rewind it back here, see what happens to the 70. Yeah, you're going to watch right here. Yep, right there. Jessica Shelton, when she shoots down the track, she collects James Qualls. She was able to hang on to her car. Qualls down and into the inside safer barrier. Then There's nowhere that car's going to go but shoot right back up the racetrack, and the car that's going to tag is going to be Ricky Falcon in the 1. And then with all the smoke, Chris Maley's going to try and get down to the inside, and oh, there's the James Qualls machine down there already. And then Louvier gets into the back of Maley. And Qualls flips up and end over end. But this wasn't all that happened because, oh, there's a hit for LaPlante too. So starting dead last didn't help the 60s chances of winning this race at all. But something happens up here. Okay, there's Charles Jackson. What happens to the 54? Oh, he's going to get a slight piece of, I think it was James Silverfox. You see Gene Sanford avoids Charles Jackson. No, he gets through that. Oh, the one of Ricky Falcon got the apron, slid back up the track, and then Jackson runs straight into the back of him. And something else happens up here, too. I don't know what. Oh, whoa, what's going on there? The 16 of Mongold just was stopped on the racetrack. Did he hit the barrels? He did. Austin Mongold hit the water barrels here at the very entrance of Pit Road, right there. And then as James McLeod and others are trying to come back up the racetrack, Mongold's there in their way. And then you got McLeod into the back of Mongold, Daniel Gilbert into the back of McLeod, Collard piles in, Dylan Poteet's going to pile in as well. So that's how those guys got their damage. There you see Ty Dent, he plows in. Oh, man. And that's the points leader, guys, right there. Austin Mongold, who came in with only a 17-point advantage. And, oh, then David Rivera's going to hit the barriers. And is TJ Dent going to do the same thing? And Bob Jones. That's exactly what they're going to do. Boy. They all just decide to hit the water barrels. Okay. But that's your points leader, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to finish out this race. But the bad news for him is Sean Galligan, Kyle Corbett, Gene Sanford, drivers trying to run him down for that points lead. They are still running and on track. Let's get ready to go back to green on lap 7 of 21. Trent Dunham's the leader. Second is Steve Pollard, Cody Lums, Anthony Murray, and Jessica Shelton. That's the top 5 as we're back underway here at Richmond. Nice look there at the pace car. Steve Pollard gets a nice run there in that middle groove, going to the inside of Trent Dunham for the lead. Almost 4 wide back there. Jessica Shelton, Carson Gunn made contact. They made contact. And back up into traffic they come. Chris Washer's in it. Henry Sanford, Sean Henley. I think I saw Silver Fox involved again. And the caution's waving again. Gene Sanford was in it. 5th in the standings. There is Carson Gum, William Bedford on the pit lane, Nick Smith, Kyle Corbett, 3rd in points. 2-time winner Chris Washer. There is Jessica Shelton. Clay Rogers was involved in this as well. And Oreo Pollard, or make that Steve Pollard, was able to get by Trent Dunham on that caution flag, and he will lead us here under yellow. Let's take a look and see what happened. Looked like maybe some tempers flaring between Jessica Shelton and Carson Gum, perhaps. Well, Jessica Shelton's been put in the middle all day. And right here, she kind of was on the inside of McCrory, but Carson Gum was on the inside of her. And, boy, that almost looks like that's on the 77. He didn't really lay off at all. Gets Jessica turned down towards the wall. And then there you go. Drivers who were running 5th and 6th at the time come right back up into traffic. Chris Washer absolutely nowhere for the 2-time winner to go. Nick Smith's going to get involved in something further up here. But here comes Sean Henley straight into the driver's side door of Chris Washer. There's Henry Sanford getting involved. Clay Rogers. I think maybe Austin LaPlante got through that. But something happens up here with Connor Breton and company. What happens to him? Oh, he's got to kind of sideswipe with Nick Smith. Both of them really loose there as they both tried to bail out of the throttle. And don't tell me. Yep, Nick Smith into the water barrels. William Bedford into the water barrels. He collects Kyle Corbett up into the wall. Gene Sanford collected. I believe that Sean Galligan, Lewis Stevens, and Danny Wells were all right in that as well. I don't know if they got damage or not. There's Jacob Lawler. Looks like they all got through it. Look at Lewis Stevens all the way down to the pit wall. It's 3 drivers in the top 10, by the way. Galligan 2nd, Wells 9th, and Lewis Stevens 8th. And there you see Austin LaPlante gaining valuable positions on track. He had been 21st last time by. He crossed the line in 12th that time. So LaPlante starting dead last. He's marching his way to the front. Well, we just missed the green flag, but it just came back out here on lap 13 of 21. Steve Pollard leads Trent Dunham, who now is under fire from Anthony McCurry for that 2nd position. We have only a handful of drivers left to finish out this race, too, by the way. Drivers out of the race right now include, all the way from 18th on down, Jessica Shelton, Gene Sanford, Carson Gum, Sean Henley, William Bedford, Nick Smith, Kyle Corbett's out, Henry Sanford, Chris Washer, Charles Jackson, Daniel Gilbert, also Chris Louvier, Matthew Dallio, Ty Dent, Ricky Falcon, James Silverfox, Austin Mongold, the points leader, will finish the day out in 34th. Also out are Dylan Thoreau, James Qualls, James McLeod. As we got a battle going on back here for 2nd. A really big raging battle. Also out Chris Maley, Bob Jones, Dylan Poteet, David Rivera, and Joshua Collard. And did they just wreck? Did they just wreck again? They did! Danny Wells! Looked like he went way down to the inside line to try and make a move, and I guess it didn't work. Cody Lamas gonna hit the water barrels, of course. Sean Galligan also involved. At 2nd, 9th, and 11th in points that were just involved in that one. Wells on the pit lane. So too is Cody Lamas. Sean Galligan gonna limp it back around. And we may have only 15 drivers left to finish out this race before all is said and done. Steve Pollard leads, Trent Dunham 2nd, Dylan Young 3rd, Alex May is now up to 4th, and Jeff Fair right now runs in the 5th position. Let's jump back, see what happened to Danny Wells, Sean Galligan, and Cody Lamas. This almost kind of looked similar to what happened between Jessica Shelton and Carson Gum. Danny Wells was trying to get to the inside of, I think that was Jeff Fair. And, oh no, I'm sorry, that was Lewis Stevens. And Galligan just kind of turns Danny Wells down to the wall. Oh my goodness, that was a hard impact for Danny and Sean. And Cody Lamas had absolutely nowhere to go. They just come right up in front of him. Let's take a look at that hit one more time. That was quite an impact. Look at this. Look at the shot they're going to take. Fortunately, that is safer barrier, but man. It's a wonder with that momentum that Danny did not slide up into Kyle Matthews and Lewis Stevens. Connor Breton, very lucky that they didn't come back down the racetrack in front of him, too. Same for Lawler, same for Clay Rogers. That's 3 drivers who came in the top 10 in points. Will actually make it a top 11 because Cody Lamas was 11th in the standings. That get involved here late could have survived and maybe come away with a solid top 20 finish. But right now, their day may be very well over. Well, this race has certainly taken on a very unusual dimension. It has been quite a wreckfest here at Richmond, mixed with some good racing at the front. Right now, it is Steve Pollard leading the way, trying to pick up his first win of his Mobil1 Cup Series career. Trent Dunham, who is 10th in the standings, by the way, he is in 2nd. 3rd is Dylan Young, a guy who really needs a good finish and possibly a win. His teammate Alex May lines up in 4th, and Jeff Fair completes the top 5. 6th place will be Lewis Stevens. Anthony McCurry, the pole sitter, is 7th. Kyle Matthews runs in 8th. 9th place is Connor Breton, and Jacob Lawler completes the top 10. 11th place is going to be Clay Rogers. 12th is Momo Akari. TJ Dent, will line up in 13th. And Austin LaPlante, from dead last, has been able to survive. He's right now in the 14th position. And I'm looking here at this field, and there's a lot of drivers who really could use the good run they're having right now. Steve Pollard, 28th in the standings. Dylan Young, 42nd in points. Kyle Matthews, 41st in the standings. Clay Rogers, 40th. Jeff Fair, 37th. Anthony McCurry, 35th. Connor Breton, 36th. TJ Dent, 34th. And Momo Akari in 30th. Jacob Lawler, 29th. So there you go. That's a lot of drivers that are running right now that are outside of the top 25 in points. They're going to get good points days here today at Richmond. And I was hoping we were going to go back to green, and indeed we are. It will be a 1-lap shootout to decide this race. Lap 21 of 21 is when the green flag will come back out with the white flag. Steve Pollard going to have to try and hold off the veterans of Dunham, Young, and May to try and capture his first Mobil1 Cup Series win. If the caution comes out, it won't matter. Steve Pollard in for the restart of his life. He's led most of this race. Caution flags have been his best friend, allowing him to be able to lead under caution, but the caution flag cannot save him now. Here we go. Steve Pollard, Trent Dunham. Who's going to get the best restart? Trent got a good jump. Will he make a dive move into one? Now Dylan Young going for that spot, though. Here comes the 30 of Dylan Young, looking to the inside. He wants more. He's going underneath Steve Pollard for the lead. Alex May, his teammate, going to help push in there. And now here comes Alex May looking low. Out of turn number 4 for the final time. Dylan Young makes the move. Lewis Stevens tries to run, but Dylan Young wins it back to the line and captures his first win of the season here today at Richmond. He got a heck of a run through turns 1 and 2. And he not only made the move for second on Trent Dunham, but he was able to make the move as well on Steve Pollard to pick up the victory here today. And as I said, if only a driver needed a win, Dylan Young would be that guy. 42nd in the point standings, only 67 points accumulated over the last 8 races. And here today, he is going to pick up the victory at Richmond. If you think about it in terms, folks, 67 points equals just about a 36th place finish every single week. And today, Dylan Young will go to victory lane for the first time this season. Now what he's got to do is he's got to get himself better finishes to put himself in a potential wild card position. But man, he got a great run there at the end and was able to win this race. Lewis Stevens almost got a good run off of 4 to be able to try and challenge for that win, but not quite. He'll finish in second. If I'm not mistaken, that's his second straight second place finish in 3 races. I believe he also finished in the second position back at Las Vegas. So a great run for him. Alex May going to finish out in 3rd, so May will probably move back into the top 10 in points. Steve Pollard led most of the laps today, but just couldn't hang on there on that last restart. He'll finish 4th, and Trent Dunham will finish in 5th. Connor Breton, Jeff Fair, Anthony McCurry, Kyle Matthews, Jacob Lawler, the top 10. Those guys really needed this top 10 run here today. The rest of the drivers who survived today's wreckfest of a race: Clay Rogers in 11th, Momo Akari in 12th, TJ Dent 13th, and Austin LaPlante from 42nd to 14th today. I think that's a pretty decent run for that team. A lot of drivers came in running well in points. They're going to finish decently, but out of the race. Galligan 15th, Cody Lama 16th, Danny Wells 17th, Gene Sanford in 19th, and Kyle Corbett 24th. So we'll see where they're going to be in all of this. But the big story, Austin Mongold going to finish in 34th place. I'm looking here, Sean Galligan finishing in 15th. That was 19 spots ahead that he finished. I don't know, but we might end up having Sean Galligan maybe take the points lead away from Austin Mongold, even though he finished out of the race. We'll have to find out if that's going to be the case after we see the point stands, see all the rest of the drivers who finished out of the race. But Dylan Young picks up his first win of the season. He becomes our 8th different driver in 9 races to win here in Season 9. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. You're looking to hit your official finisher results. We'll show you all the way down through 42nd one more time. Here come your official rookie points and main points heading into next week. Our final regular season race for the first half of the season before All-Star Race Weekend begins at Auto Club Speedway. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.